my god. Look at this bad boy. Over here. Wait, can I break it? No, I can't break it. I swear I go to the gym. I swear it. So guys, welcome back to another video. Today, I'm gonna be doing a review of this fun thing over here. So, let's get into it. This is a cool chair. I do a lot of desk work, ranging from music projects and homework, and sitting for long periods of time, over a long period of time, like over a few months or years or so, is definitely not good for my back. So I figured, why not invest in something like this? But looking at the price of some of these things, I was appalled. It was disgusting. I did a lot of searching around. I did a lot of looking around YouTube, and I found EWIn. So I figured, why not give this a try? I found a lot of interesting videos, from its build quality to its features, and I just found it to be something that was working for me within the price range. The most baffling thing to me was how expensive these got. 300 plus. Outrageous prices for a chair. They are investments, but I don't think they should cost that much unless you're really looking for luxury and the brand name. So looking at EWIn, especially for the holiday prices where you were getting like 30-40% discounts, there was no way I could pass up on this. So the first thing, as you can see from my intro, this thing is heavy. It is huge. It took so much work to get it into my apartment building, shimmy it through every door in my apartment, get it all the way up here, get it through the door into my room. It was a whole mess. The way that this thing comes in at about 66 pounds or 30 kilograms if you prefer that. But the weight of the chair itself was 57 pounds, which was really surprising because it really factors in to the construction quality of this chair. And when putting it together, I was shocked by how easy it was. The packaging was relatively simple. It comes with the top of the chair, the bottom of the chair, the mechanism to either go up and down or back and forth with the top half of the chair, and then the starfish design for the wheels at the bottom. I was very surprised to see how compact everything was and how readily accessible everything was. So they definitely worked on the compactness of the design because it was very easy to pull everything out. It was very easy to identify what part is what and what goes where. You'll also find an instruction manual, which is very weird but very straightforward. It's got this weird like directional, I don't know why they directed it like that. They should have just left to right, like you're reading a book. Building it was very quick, very fast. It was very easy to get the side parts together, to get the feet together, to get everything together. The most complicated part of putting this together was getting the lighting in order to shoot it. So EWIn definitely did a good job with the construction of this and did a good job of laying it out with the instruction manual. One of the most convenient things about building this chair is that most of the screws are already in the place that they're supposed to go. So as you're building the chair, it'll show you where to undo the screws that are already there, so that when you put the pieces that are supposed to go there, you just need to screw them right back in. The only pieces that don't do that are the ones that go on the sides after attaching the top of the chair to the bottom of the chair. But physically attaching the top of the chair to the bottom of the chair and then attaching the base to the bottom of the chair, all the screws are already there. So there's no complications, there's no losing the screws unless you pull it out and then you drop it and then it's gone and then you cry. Everything about building this chair was really simple. Getting the top of the chair into the bottom of the chair, putting in the 2 screws, then getting the base onto the chair, getting the side pieces to cover up the screws for each side of the chair. The time it takes to build this chair will probably take you about 10 to 15 minutes. It's very easy, very straightforward. The instructions, as weird as they're laid out, is still very simple. As I mentioned before, the mechanism allows you to move up or down or lean back and forth with the side lever. As for the armrests, you can move them forward, backward, you can move them side to side, you can move them up and down, but you can also angle them left or right in ways that I would probably never use, but it's definitely an interesting feature for anyone that prefers that, so good for them. One thing I was particularly impressed by was how far back I could lay down and be comfortable with it. I think I was able to take it to the max and I was still balanced, even though it was pretty scary. I gotta say, laying back down that far is quite terrifying because it does feel like your weight's just gonna go that way. You can reliably lean back in the chair without falling. Probably. I'm 6 feet tall and 170 pounds, and leaning back is not a problem for me. I don't know if with more weight it could be a problem, but I feel like if it can hold me properly, even with my height, it should be fine. There are a few things that make this chair feel like it is for smaller people. Like I need to adjust the headrest to over the chair instead of through the holes that are in the back, just so that my head can fit properly. But once I got it there, then it's nice and comfortable. So I imagine if you're anywhere between like 5'5" to 6 feet tall, this is probably the chair for you. This chair really doesn't have a lot of negatives. Like searching for them so far, it's comfortable. Even the lumbar support, which I thought was going to be a little bit annoying, was still very comfortable sitting down. Especially I noticed when leaning in, because sometimes I like to take my back off of the chair, but I want to keep working on what I'm working on. So the lumbar support will be pressing against my lower back so that it's not shifting or bending in any weird way, which is surprisingly comfortable. So it definitely helps to have that little bit of support. And then the headrest, if I need to lay back and relax, is of course very nice. When it comes to comfort, the quality is very plush. It's very soft. It's very comfortable to sit in as of right now. When you push your fingers into like the seat and into the sides of the chair, you definitely feel a little bit of that plushness. Right out of the box, it does feel a little bit stiff, but I feel like when it gets a little worn in, then it'll fit just fine. Especially right out of the box, I'm pretty impressed with how comfortable it actually is. A funny story actually, after recording myself building the chair, I decided to take it back into my room and then lay down, pull the lever all the way back, and then just relax while listening to a podcast. And I actually fell asleep for like 20 minutes. Just to show that it is a comfortable chair, I ended up taking a nap on it, so I'll give it that. My one complaint, I'd say, would be the armrests, because they aren't in the way, but they aren't the most comfortable. Like, that's hard. That's just plastic with a little bit of rubber on the top to make it just a little bit malleable, but it is a little bit tough. So far, it hasn't given me any problems. I'm able to adjust it to a perfect position where my elbows can rest on it and my hands hang over the desk with no problem. I'd say the only other real negative that I have is that it's a little difficult to get the tilt of the chair when you're sitting on it properly. It's a little difficult to kind of push yourself up. I'm 6 feet tall, and it's even on the lowest setting of me lowering it to the floor, it's hard to adjust it with my feet to get in a proper angle. But once you have it set in that angle, it's not going to move. It is sturdy. It's not going to do anything. As for the adjustability, it definitely serves its purpose to get it in the best spot. I would just say if they were a little softer, that would help a lot of people, including myself. So I'll put the retail price around here, but I was able to get this chair for $200 with the sales that they were running in the holiday season, which I think for $200 as a long-term investment for years to come, I think this chair is perfect. I haven't used it long enough to see how it holds up over time, but so far, just from the couple uses that I've had out of it and the different ways I could adjust it, I am in a more comfortable position than I could imagine sitting at a desk. And it's honestly made me more productive in doing the work that I got to get done because I don't feel tired and I don't feel like I'm shifting in pain because I'm in a weird spot with my other chair. I think if anyone's interested in getting a chair that if you do a lot of desk work, if you know you need to be comfortable and you're going to be sitting there for hours on end, then this is the chair that you want. There are other ones that specialize in ergonomics and lumbar support, but if you just want to look a little flashy, this is the perfect chair to go with. There's no part of this that feels cheap. I need to make that known because with its enticing price tag, I feel like some people will be weary of where they cut corners. I feel like if they cut corners anywhere, it's probably in the armrests, but when it comes to comfort, when it comes to build quality, when it comes to weight, when it comes to durability, it just checks all of those boxes for such a good looking price. I'm really impressed by this chair, and we'll see if it holds up the next few months. I'll definitely do a review later on to see how it is and how it stacks up after a long time of working and sitting at a desk for hours on end. I'll leave a bunch of links in the description to a bunch of the other reviews that I found helpful in taking a look at this chair. And with that being said, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.